suggest physical. You're a young man, you're a strong man. I mean, you live in the south of England, you're not near any hills. Could you tell us what training you've done?
You need to do plenty of running, and you need to try and make an effort to go to a mountain once a month for 4 or 5 months prior to doing it, so that your knees are mountain fit. That is one of the key aspects that really hurts, especially me, my knees. And you'll just get, if you can get your knees mountain fit, you need good cardio, because it's a long day, and if you're like me, I'm a nervous passenger. I don't sleep well. Well, I don't sleep at all on it. I just stay awake for the 24 hours. But I think the adrenaline does get you up the last mountain.
And to stamina training, I mean, there must come a time when you do get tired up there. How do you get through it?
You need to switch off and not be thinking of anything, I find, if you can do that, so that you're literally just concentrating on putting... What kept me going is just thinking, right, one foot in front of the other. I know with Nick and Mark, they just go on times where they think it's 2 hours to the top and an hour and a half down, and they just go on times. For me personally, I do struggle to switch off, but that's what you have to do.
What would you say to anybody, for example, climbing Ben Nevis for the first time, and just, for example, they sprain an ankle only lightly? What chance, in your opinion, would they have of completing the challenge with a minor injury on Mountain 1?
The mountains will pick up on the injury, and it will get worse as you go on, because it is physically very demanding on the body. A lot of jarring, because it's big steps as you're coming down. So that if you've got a sprained ankle, by the end of the second mountain, you will be in a lot of pain, and then it's your mental side that will get you through the challenge, not your physical.
And you mentioned training on the mountains. I mean, I know for a fact you trained in the Brecon Beacons, or certainly even on your first time, I think you went to the Brecon Beacons. How, having not really seen a mountain before, how daunting is Ben Nevis for a person that has never walked up a mountain?
She's a big girl. Up Ben Nevis, it is a long way. It's 5.25 miles to the top, so it's a 10.5 mile round trip, stepping up all the way. Or however, roughly at the halfway point, there is a level part by the lake just as you come round to the waterfall, which is considered in time and distance at the waterfall halfway up Ben Nevis. But it for 5.25 miles, it's a long walk uphill, and 5.25 miles back down is a lot of strain on the thighs and knees.
Another thing you've mentioned is food intake. I mean, can you give us some idea as to what to eat, when to eat? Do you have breakfast? Do you eat something hot? Do you eat something cold? And you've also said that the food intake has let you down on stamina. So what do you suggest anybody does to make sure they can complete the challenge and they are properly fueled?
You must have a good breakfast. Depending on what time you're going to start off, we started our challenge first thing in the morning. Some people start at 5 in the afternoon at Ben Nevis, but we started first thing in the morning, and I had porridge because it's slow burning, high energy, slow burning, lots of sugar on it, and taking up the mountain, lots of fluids, plenty of water on board, some energy drinks, and literally just some snack bars or energy bars, so you're travelling light.
So where did it go wrong when you said you've not eaten properly? What did you do wrong? What didn't you eat, if you like?
Didn't eat between mountains, basically, because it was jumping into the car and away. Didn't have proper food. We've found and researched, Mr. Dean Barrow has researched, that soup is the best, or pasta, in between. So when you get off the mountain, you have soup and a sandwich, and then as you're getting near to getting out of the car again, maybe take on board some pasta before setting out up the mountain about an hour prior to going out. So you've got slow burning carbs inside your body to give you plenty of energy. But on our second challenge, we had no food on board, and the wrong foods up the mountains, taking sugary sweets just to give you a burst of energy which only lasts minutes, which is not good. And
just lastly, I mean, Mother Nature has a say in all this. Were there any times with the weather that has surprised you? You said walking down in the dark on Scarfell Pike, I mean, forgetting your torch is one thing, but how bad can the weather get on a mountain?
So bad, I've almost had to be on my hands and knees only at the Brecon Beacons to be able to move forwards. The wind was so strong. And the weather, you could be at the bottom of the mountain, beautiful, and the temperature really drops. And if you get cold, once you get cold, it's very difficult to get warm again. So you must be well prepared. So if you start off at the bottom of the mountain with a pair of shorts on and a t-shirt, you will certainly need trousers, a sweater and a jacket by the time you get to the top. And when the rain comes in and you get wet, if you haven't got your jacket on in time, then you're going to be in a lot of trouble. You need waterproof bottoms and a nice waterproof jacket.
We see this time and time again with the weather. People, certainly at the bottom of the mountain, they feel absolutely fine. It's a lovely spring evening or summer evening, in our case on Scarfell Pike. I mean, were you actually shocked? Did it surprise you at how bad it got so quickly during midsummer?
Yep, we're in August, and at the top of the staircase at Scarfell Pike, when the hail and the cloud came down.
This is in August?
In August, you could see no further than 10 feet in front of you, which for navigating is quite difficult. So again, you need to have your maps with you and a compass.
Would you say you were lucky coming off Scarfell Pike in those conditions with no torch and in the dark?
Well, an element of luck, but I just knew I needed to head towards the sound of the water. So in that case, it wasn't lucky. It was because I've got experience of navigating myself off of the mountains.
And some people have said you're very brave, very determined man, but most of us know you being completely fucking stupid.